My name is Lorina Mirafuentes, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself, my children, and an organization called Texas Voice for the Innocents. And the many families that are contacting me on a daily basis. I would like to draw to your attention that children are often misdiagnosed with child abuse, and judges within the family and court system, criminal court system, are signing off on the wrongful removal of children, and it's completely devastating children and families. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran upstairs. And what happened in my case was my child was misdiagnosed. The judge signed off on the emergency removal of my 2 children, and it greatly traumatized my kids and my family. Families are often innocent, and they're just being railroaded through the court system, and the judges are often never held accountable. And when these cases are dismissed and the children are correctly diagnosed, the cases are often dragged out for a year, 2 years, and it's greatly affecting and traumatizing many families in Texas and all throughout the nation. My story went nationwide in January to raise awareness about the misdiagnosis of child abuse and how it's greatly affecting children and families in Texas and nationwide. I spoke at a legislative hearing in November, and I shared my testimony, and the state representative, Chairman James Frank, is also looking into this issue. And I ask you to please take all these concerns very seriously. And judges are often not held accountable for the wrongful removal of children. The judge in my case signed off on the emergency immediate danger removal of my 2 children, and there's absolutely 0 evidence of child abuse. My son was misdiagnosed, and he actually had a complication at birth.
We lost your the last sentence you just said. I think we lost the audio there.
Okay, I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
I don't know if is she muted, Ron?
I can hear just fine.
Okay, and maybe it's on our end. I'm sorry I interrupted. Ms. Mirafuentes, now you are muted, but if you'll unmute yourself, you may certainly continue, and I'm sorry to have interrupted you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
We can hear you.
Okay. My child was misdiagnosed with child abuse. It took me 2.5 years and over $80,000 in attorney fees to have my son correctly diagnosed. He actually had a complication at birth in a condition called benign external hydrocephalus. And one doctor made a wrongful accusation that they thought my child was abused when he never was. There's 0 evidence of any child abuse. So these cases, there's many cases within the court systems where children are having honest to God medical conditions and they're being misdiagnosed with child abuse. And oftentimes when the case is actually dismissed, it's usually dragged out for a year, 2.5 years or longer. But when the case is dismissed and the children are actually correctly diagnosed, there's no accountability on the judge's side for signing off on these wrongful removal of children. My oldest son lost 20 pounds within 6 weeks because he was wrongfully removed from me and placed in the foster care system. And it greatly traumatized my whole family and the many families that are going through this.
Ms. Mirafuentes, that's about 3 minutes. I just invite you to briefly wrap up.
Okay. Thank you so much for allowing us to share our testimonies today, and ask you to please look into, all these complaints and the misdiagnosis of children who are being misdiagnosed with child abuse but have medical conditions.
Thank you
so much
comments.
for letting us. Thank you.